We joined Wessel Snyman at his Woodstock studio, where he shows how framing an image or object incorporates so many of the ideas he uses in his interiors.
Hi, Wessel.
Welcome to my studio.
Thank you.
Come have a look.
Wessel, you crossed over from art to decor. How did your career kick off?
So I studied fine art at the University of Stellenbosch, and that kind of took me into the world of art sale and art purchases. Eventually that tipped into framing, and the business kind of just developed really naturally from there.
This piece looks very interesting. Where's it from and how would you go about framing it?
A client of mine, Wim, invited me over for lunch one day and served tea on this tray. And we both remarked about how absolutely beautiful it is. And beautiful objects need to be presented and displayed. It needs to be cherished, and one of the ways to do that is through framing. And Wim and I both decided this piece has to be framed, and I left with it that afternoon, brought it to the studio, and in the studio we make decisions about how to best enhance the artwork. We always let the artwork dictate how it wants to be framed. And in this particular case, we worked with the green because it really enhances the gorgeous eyes that the cat on the tray has.
Well, I'm very intrigued to see where it ends up.
Wessel knows the room in which this piece will be displayed. The green backing was also going to pick up on a defining piece of furniture and be a variation on a much darker green accent wall. This links the frame to other objects and colors in a space.
So now that all the edges are trimmed, it's ready to flip into the frame for final assembly.
Master craftsman Olisile Chikini started working here in 2010, knowing nothing about framing. Fast forward 8 years, and he's in charge of all final assembly on the most challenging framing commissions.
Beautiful. Look at the eyes. It pops so well with the green.
Isn't that amazing? Cool. Shall we take it to Wim's?
Great.
Thank you, Chloe.
Thank you.
Thanks. Enjoy it, guys.
Since hairstylist Wim van Zyl met Wessel at his gallery, the two have become friends, and they often use this apartment as a space to innovate. Wim collects interesting pieces, and Wessel helps him to layer, group, and arrange his collections.
Wim, tell me about this porcelain collection you have behind you.
Jade, I love Imari. The fact that they paint both sides, the front and the back, is a typical trademark of Imari. Imari comes from Japan or China. And then what I also love about Imari is it's almost, the pictures are overly painted and exaggerated. And I just love the tapestry it creates. It dates back 1,500 plus years. My collection is 1800, 1900s and 2000.
And you know, Jade, even though we went for a fairly formal arrangement of the Imari on this wall, I think it's really important to remember that there aren't any rules as to how to display something. It really needs to resonate with you the person who's going to live with it.
And what are some of the rules you've broken in terms of your displays?
I love grouping. Like the one wall is just crucifixes, and we decided to hang one wall just art. And I love the way Wessel helped me to hang the art.
These walls offer a dark background to unify all the separate images, and the color disguises where the room ends, making it feel bigger.
You know, one of the standout pieces for me is this hospital bed. What is the story behind it?
I visited a friend in Budapest, and he had a bed in his lounge. And I realized I have an old little bed in Klerksdorp with my parents. And I came back to South Africa and I called my mom and dad and I said, Mom, do you still have my hospital bed that I bought 25 years ago for 50 Rand at a pawn shop? And Van Zyls never throw anything away, so it was still in the garage roof. They took it down for me, they cleaned it, and while my mother took the bed down, there was a little bag on the bed. And my mother said, Wim, it looks like voodoo dolls on this bed. I said, Mom, you don't touch that. I want to see it. And Mom and Dad put the bed for me on the train, and here the bed is. We cut her legs shorter, and we covered her in a green leather. Yes, I'm very happy. And now I've got a 2-bedroom apartment.
And were there voodoo dolls?
When the bed got here, I couldn't wait. The first thing I did was opening that little bag. And it was my sister's little bag. She had the bed at the stage. And it was 5 little dolls And I asked my sister, what is this? And it's her family. It's like a friendship symbol. So now that little pouch with my sister's children stays on the bed.
How would you describe the overall theme of the apartment?
I think Wim's apartment really reflects the eclecticism of his personality. And I think that's what we can hope for every client's home and for the viewers' homes as well. It really needs to be a visualization of who you are on the inside. And it has seen so many collections just as he has grown. And it's also vital to remember that the process of decorating a space and getting it to reflect who you really are is definitely, it's never finished. Just like you're never finished growing, and neither will your space be.
The more people a piece has belonged to, the more interesting Wim finds it. He loves cabinets of curiosity and unusual artworks.
Well, I think this was a fantastic position to hang this artwork, and in line with Wim's eclectic display of objects, we decided to hang this in a diamond formation instead of a square.
Again, breaking the rules.
Exactly right, and doesn't it look fantastic?
It does, and besides bringing out the eyes, it also works well with the couch.
And I think that's really important to understand that all objects you have in your home has a relationship with each other as well as to the space. And I think this is a prime example of how it picks up and responds to everything else we've seen today.
Absolutely.
Wessel, thank you very much. I love it.
Cool.
Let's go have some tea.
Cool, let's do.
The dining room has moved outside into a garden full of prayer flags, reclaimed flower pots and hanging pieces of china. Not your average tea room.
Gentlemen, this is such a magical setup. It's like being in Wonderland. I love how you two really encourage and inspire people to just express themselves and let go with their creativity. Thank you so much for today.
Cool, well thank you too. It was an absolute pleasure sharing the day with you.
It was wonderful. I really enjoyed it.
Cheers.
Before trying new decor ideas, Wessel suggests a calming cuppa.